The chaos forces, the forces of chaos, also known as the chaos powers, are the collective term used to describe the various supernatural entities and malevolent beings who worship and serve the gods of chaos in the Warhammer 40K universe. The forces of chaos are composed of the worshippers of four major chaos gods: Khorne, the blood god; Nurgle, the plague lord; Slaanesh, the prince of pleasure; and Tsench, the changer of ways. The worshippers of chaos are often drawn from the human populations of the Imperium of Man and from the other species of the galaxy, including mutants, psychers, and xenos. The worship of chaos can be seen as a form of rebellion against the oppressive and restrictive Imperium, a means of satisfying the desire for power, or simply an expression of the darker aspects of human nature. The worshippers of chaos in the Warhammer 40K universe are individuals and groups who have dedicated themselves to the worship and service of the chaos gods, a group of powerful entities that embody the negative human emotions of lust, greed, anger, and despair, among others. They believe that by dedicating themselves to chaos, they will be granted immense power and eternal life. Chaos worshippers come from all walks of life, from rogue psychers and mutants to entire planetary populations and military forces. They often perform dark rituals, human sacrifices, and other heinous acts in order to appease their chosen deity. Some worshippers of chaos are fanatically dedicated to their cause, while others are lured by the promise of power and immortality. Chaos worshippers are seen as a threat to the stability and security of the Imperium of Man, and they are hunted down by the Imperial Guard and Space Marines. Despite their efforts, the worship of chaos continues to spread, and the influence of the chaos gods can be felt throughout the galaxy. There are several different factions within the worshippers of chaos, each dedicated to a specific chaos god. For example, the followers of Khorne are known for their bloodthirsty nature and their love of battle, while the followers of Slaanesh are obsessed with pleasure and decadence. The followers of Nurgle are focused on decay and corruption, while the followers of Tsench are known for their cunning and manipulation. In the Warhammer 40K universe, the worshippers of chaos are seen as a force of darkness and destruction, and their ultimate goal is to bring about the downfall of the Imperium of Man and the rule of the chaos gods over the galaxy. The forces of chaos are united in their devotion to the chaos gods, but they often do not work well together, as they are divided by rivalries and power struggles. The worshippers of chaos are often seen as a single, unified force, but they are in fact fragmented and prone to infighting, with each faction seeking to advance its own interests and gain the favor of its chosen deity. The forces of chaos are a persistent threat to the Imperium and the rest of the galaxy, as they seek to spread corruption and destruction wherever they go. The chaos gods are often portrayed as malevolent entities that desire to destroy the ordered and structured universe of the Imperium and replace it with a chaotic and unpredictable realm of their own creation. The worshippers of chaos are depicted as depraved and twisted individuals who have given themselves over to the power of their gods. They are often depicted as being mutated or disfigured by their worship, and are seen as being beyond redemption. They are often portrayed as being brutal and savage, and are feared and reviled by the rest of the galaxy. The forces of chaos are not limited to the worshippers of the chaos gods, however. They also include the forces of chaos demons, who are the physical manifestations of the chaos gods themselves. The chaos demons are depicted as being incredibly powerful and malevolent beings that exist outside of normal space and time, and they often seek to bring destruction to the universe through their influence over the worshippers of chaos. In the Warhammer 40K universe, chaos demons are a faction of malevolent supernatural entities that embody the emotions, desires, and vices of sentient beings. They are creatures of the immaterium, a parallel dimension of raw psychic energy that exists alongside the material universe. The immaterium is influenced by the thoughts and emotions of mortals, and the more intense and widespread the negative emotions, the stronger the demons become. The Chaos Demons are the servants of the Chaos Gods, powerful entities that represent the primal forces of the universe. Chaos Undivided, Korn the Blood God, Nurgle the Lord of Decay, Slaanesh the Prince of Pleasure, and Tsench the Changer of Ways. Each Chaos God has its own personality and domains, and the demons that serve them reflect these domains and embody their patrons' traits. Chaos demons can take many forms, ranging from massive beasts to graceful, ethereal entities. They are creatures of pure psychic energy, and as such, they are not limited by the constraints of physical form or mortality. They are both incredibly powerful and incredibly dangerous, as they are immune to many of the weaknesses that affect mortal creatures, such as pain, fear, and death. Chaos demons are often summoned into the material universe through dark rituals or by the will of their patrons. They are then unleashed upon the Imperium of Man and its other enemies, causing chaos, destruction, and death wherever they go. The demons are often used as weapons by the Chaos Space Marines, who worship the Chaos Gods and seek to bring about their ultimate triumph. Despite their immense power, Chaos demons are not invincible. They are vulnerable to holy artifacts, such as the relics of the Imperium's saintly heroes, and to the powers of the Psykers, who can channel the Immaterium and use its energies to banish the demons back to their own realm. Chaos demons are one of the most dangerous and unpredictable factions in the Warhammer 40K universe. They embody the darkest aspects of human emotion and thought, and they are the relentless servants of the Chaos Gods. The Imperium and its allies must constantly guard against their incursions into the material universe, for if they are ever unleashed upon the galaxy in full force, the consequences would be devastating beyond measure. The next is Chaos Space Marine. The Chaos Space Marines are a faction of fallen Imperial Space Marines who worship the Chaos Gods and have turned against the Imperium of Man. These Marines are often depicted as the primary antagonists in the Warhammer 40K universe. The origin of the Chaos Space Marines can be traced back to the Horus Heresy, a civil war that took place within the Imperium of Man. During this conflict, the War Master Horus, who was once a trusted and loyal servant of the Emperor, turned against him and declared himself to be the new ruler of the Imperium. With the support of several Space Marine legions and other Imperial forces, Horus launched a massive assault on the Imperium, leading to a brutal war that lasted for several years. As the Horus Heresy raged on, many Imperial Space Marines began to fall to the corruption of the Chaos Gods. These Marines saw the Chaos Gods as a path to power and glory, and they pledged their loyalty to them in exchange for the gods' favor. Over time, these corrupted Space Marines came to be known as the Chaos Space Marines. The Chaos Space Marines are organized into various war bands, each of which is dedicated to one of the four Chaos Gods: Khorne, Nurgle, Tsench, and Slaanesh. These war bands are often in competition with one another, as the Chaos Gods are constantly vying for power and influence. Despite their internal conflicts, the Chaos Space Marines are united in their hatred of the Imperium and their desire to see it destroyed. They use their advanced technology and their mastery of the warp to launch raids and assaults on Imperial worlds, seeking to spread chaos and destruction wherever they go. One of the defining features of the Chaos Space Marines is their reliance on the warp. This is a parallel dimension that is inhabited by demonic entities and is home to the Chaos Gods. The Chaos Space Marines use the warp to travel vast distances in a short amount of time, allowing them to strike quickly and disappear before the Imperium can respond. The Chaos Space Marines are also known for their brutal and indiscriminate warfare. They show no mercy to their enemies, and they revel in the violence and bloodshed of battle. Many of them have undergone extensive mutations and physical alterations, making them nearly as inhuman as the demons they worship, despite their power and ferocity. The Chaos Space Marines are greatly outnumbered by the Imperium's military forces. However, they are a constant threat, as they are able to launch devastating raids on Imperial worlds and strike at the heart of the Imperium itself. As a result, the Imperium is constantly on the defensive, seeking to prevent the Chaos Space Marines from gaining a foothold in the galaxy. Not only Space Marine but also Titan, the Chaos Titans in Warhammer 40k are massive war machines that serve the forces of Chaos and are dedicated to one of the 4 Chaos gods. These Titans are an evolution of the standard Imperial Titans, which were developed by the Adeptus Mechanicus, but have been twisted and corrupted by the dark powers of the warp. Chaos Titans are often made from a mixture of ancient, corrupted technology and the raw power of the warp. They are typically adorned with evil symbols, twisted metal and bone, and other grotesque decorations. Many of them have been fitted with weapons capable of laying waste to entire cities, such as battle cannons, Gatling blasters, and inferno guns. In battle, Chaos Titans are devastating foes, raining destruction down on their enemies and crushing all who dare stand against them. They are often accompanied by smaller units of Chaos Space Marines and Demons, who use the Titans as mobile fortresses from which to launch their attacks. One of the most famous Chaos Titans is the Warlord-class Titan, a massive war machine that is capable of leveling entire cities and bringing the Imperium to its knees. Other popular Chaos Titans include the Reaver-class Titan, which is known for its speed and agility, and the Deathbringer-class Titan, which is used to spread disease and death across the battlefield. Despite their fearsome reputation, Chaos Titans are not without their weaknesses. They are slow and unwieldy, and their massive size makes them an easy target for enemy artillery. Additionally, they are vulnerable to psychic attacks, as the power of the warp that fuels their engines can be disrupted by skilled psykers. Despite these weaknesses, Chaos Titans remain a formidable force on the battlefield, and they are a powerful symbol of the dark power of chaos and the horrors that lurk within the warp. They are feared and respected by all who face them, and their very presence is enough to strike terror into the hearts of even the bravest Imperial soldiers. The last is 4 Chaos God. The 4 Chaos Gods, also known as the Ruinous Powers, are entities worshipped by the followers of Chaos in the Warhammer 40k universe. They are the personifications of negative human emotions and desires, and each has its own distinct portfolio, sphere of influence, and followers. Khorne, the god of war, blood, and murder. Khorne is the embodiment of anger, violence, and the thirst for power. His followers believe that only through constant warfare can one achieve glory and strength. Khorne is worshipped by the Space Marines who have turned to chaos, as well as various other factions, including the bloodthirsty berserkers and Khornate cultists. Nurgle, the god of decay, disease, and death. Nurgle represents the inevitability of death and decay, as well as the corruption that comes with it. He is often depicted as a bloated and pestilent figure, and his followers worship him for the promise of immortality and protection from disease. Nurgle's followers include the Nurgle Demons, the Putrid Blight Kings, and the Chaos Space Marines who have dedicated themselves to his service. Slaanesh, the god of pleasure, excess, and sensation. Slaanesh represents the indulgence of all carnal desires and the pursuit of pleasure above all else. Slaanesh's followers are often depicted as decadent and hedonistic, reveling in all manner of excesses. Slaanesh's followers include the Chaos Space Marines who have dedicated themselves to his service, as well as the Demonettes of Slaanesh and the Chaos Sorcerers who seek to channel his power. Tsench, the god of change, destiny, and sorcery. Tsench represents the unpredictable and chaotic nature of change, as well as the manipulation and subversion of fate. Tsench's followers believe in the power of schemes and manipulations, and often seek to further their own power and ambition through Machiavellian means. Tsench's followers include the Chaos Space Marines who have dedicated themselves to his service, as well as the Chaos Sorcerers and the Flammers of Tsench, in Warhammer 40k. The worship of the Chaos Gods is seen as a perversion of the Imperial Creed, and those who follow chaos are considered heretical and a threat to the stability of the Imperium. Despite this, the Chaos Gods continue to have a significant impact on the universe, influencing and manipulating events to further their own goals. The forces of chaos are an important aspect of the Warhammer 40K universe, as they represent the forces of entropy, disorder, and destruction that threaten the stability of the Imperium and the rest of the galaxy. The worshippers of chaos and their demonic allies are a persistent threat to the stability of the Warhammer 40K universe, and their actions often serve to drive the narrative of the Warhammer 40K stories.